Well, Frank Frangie, this is my favorite week of the whole year, college football rivalry week. But unfortunately for Florida and Florida State fans, it's kind of somber. Jordan Travis, the Florida State quarterback, was hurt last week against North Alabama in a devastating injury. What do you think this means for Florida State moving forward?
Well, first of all, it's a terrible injury. He's such a good kid. In terms of being a really good player, a Heisman candidate, just a good dude. And Jordan Travis getting hurt like that was devastating for a lot of people in college football, not just FSU. FSU now has to play Tate Rodemaker. He's a backup. He's played a little bit, but I worry about what it does to them emotionally. I don't think it should affect where they're ranked. I think that's a bunch of bunk that you're going to rank them lower because they lost their quarterback. I hate that, and I hope that doesn't happen if they continue to win. But there's an emotional blow, Alessandra. People loved him. People responded to him. And now the next guy's got to go play, so they need Tate Rodemaker to play very, very well. But a terrible loss the way Jordan Travis got hurt.
And unfortunately for Florida Gators fans, Graham Mertz went down with a collarbone injury. Another devastating loss for the Florida Gators, who are just having such a hard season.
Isn't it wild that they both got hurt on the same day, a couple hours apart, both season-ending injuries? Graham Mertz was the ultimate tough guy. He had a fantastic season, 20 touchdowns, only 3 picks, played well, and he made that great run where he ran through 2 defenders to get the first down and then got hit afterwards and got hurt. So a terrible injury for Graham Mertz. He had a really good season for the Gators, but both guys are now playing their backup players. Max Brown, I thought, played very well for Florida. Came in. Billy Napier, give him credit. He had him ready to play, and he almost won the game against Missouri. But it's bizarre that all of a sudden 2 backups are going to be playing in this really big rivalry between Florida and FSU. Just a bizarre week on Saturday.
You know, Jamal St. Cyr and I were talking about this game, and he said it's the backup bowl, which now it is. I think this game is going to be much closer than we all expected because of those 2 backup quarterbacks, and we're in the swamp.
Well, the advantage goes to Florida because as good as Graham Mertz was playing, he wasn't Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis was going to go to New York because he was going to get so many Heisman votes. I don't know if he was going to win the Heisman, but he was going to wind up in New York. So Florida State lost a better player than Florida did. But Graham Mertz is pretty doggone good. So 2 backup quarterbacks. Which coach has their guy ready? It's only like a 6-point line, so people expect this to be a close game. It's nighttime in the swamp. The swamp is really hard to play in at nighttime, particularly for a brand-new quarterback. Here's what we do have, a really intriguing game all of a sudden between Florida State and Florida. Different odds, obviously different stakes. Florida State's trying to win the national championship. Florida's just trying to get to a bowl game. So the game matters to both, but what an odd circumstance, 2 backups playing in the game.
And Georgia looking to close out their season undefeated as they go into the SEC championship against my alma mater, the Alabama Crimson Tide, which I'm a little nervous for that game. But let's talk about Georgia Tech, rivalry game. You know what you always hear? Doesn't matter about records. This week, it just matters about how ready these 2 teams are.
Yeah, I do think the rivalry aspect affects the game a little bit, but not this game. Georgia, and I told you this last week, Georgia is so good. I didn't realize how good they were. Once Carson Beck hit stride, and he has, there are just so many dudes on that team. They're blowing out people. I mean, they blew out Ole Miss and Tennessee. I thought those would be 2 close games. They rolled both of those teams and made it look easy. They'll win easily against Georgia Tech. Now, next week we'll talk about that Georgia-Alabama game, which will be a better game than any of these other ones. But Georgia's really good. They're very deserving. They're as good as everybody advertised them to be. I think they're going to win a 3rd straight national title, which nobody has done since 1936. They're that good of a team.
I think Georgia would beat some of those really bad NFL teams? I
think
so.
I don't know if a college team can ever beat an NFL team, but they certainly are better than an awful lot of the college teams have been in recent years, for sure.
Frank, thank you so much. Some very good matchups this Saturday, and then next week we'll be talking about those conference championships right before Selection Sunday. So thank you so much, and that's your look at sports.